Hi folks, welcome to today's Coffee and Colossians. We're in a little different place today. I'm at the War Memorial up at St. James's. You can see it behind us there, and I think it's very appropriate for what we're doing because we're looking at verse 20, where we've looked at how God is pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him, and then verse 20 says this, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, through his blood, making peace through his blood shed on the cross. Making peace through his blood. How does that work? You know, when a woman like this, people talk about the sacrifice. Now, in one sense, it's sacrifice. In another sense, it's not. Nobody went out deliberately seeking to get themselves killed. But Jesus knew that he was going to die. So here's the great message of the gospel for us. I think this is just incredible. And again, it just amazes me that so many people who profess to be Christians do not grasp what Jesus was doing on the cross. So just to read a couple of verses for you. I won't read this, but in 2 Corinthians 5, we're told that the world is out of sync. There's just something wrong with the world, and we live in a bent universe. Romans 8, verse 18, and we know about the whole creation groaning as in the pains of childbirth. And hostility and evil, if you look at the news, they seem to be the hallmarks of humanity. I'm just reading just now about Anthony Beevor's Ardennes, about the Battle of the Bulge. Just extraordinary, both the bravery but also the evil and stupidity of humanity. And how do we fix that? How do we sort that? How do we deal with this evil? Well, this is God's plan, and I don't think anyone has come up with anything that's remotely near as great as this. The initiative comes from God, not from humanity. The Bible is not the story of man's search for God, but it's of God's search for us. And it centers on the cross. Romans 3:25, God presented him as a sacrifice of atonement through faith in his blood. You see, the blood atones for our sins, nothing else. 1 Corinthians 11:25, this cup is the new covenant in my blood. Ephesians 1:7, in him we have redemption through his blood. The forgiveness of sins in accordance with the riches of God's grace that he lavished on us with all wisdom and understanding. It is only the blood of Christ that brings peace, ultimate peace and reconciliation. It is accomplished. You know, it's done. This is not human achievement, but this is human acceptance. We keep being told, if we do this, and if we do this, and if we do this, then peace will result. No, it just won't. It doesn't. And this is gospel. This is good news. It's not an appeal. It's not, you know, I've just come from a Bible study, so I've already had my coffee, by the way, which is why I don't want it in my hand, with some lawyers in a cafe just down the road from here. And, you know, we were just looking at how the difference between works religion and the good news of Jesus Christ. Reconciliation is achieved at the cross, and the cross is the center. Now, there's a suspicion in Colossians that it wasn't the center for some of them. But Christ and him crucified is the absolute center for us. 1 John 2:2, he is the atoning sacrifice for our sins, and not only for ours, but for the sins of the whole world. We've got nothing else, and we've got no one else. What's the old hymn? My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I think of all the blood that is shed in wars, all the blood that today will be shed through violence, all the abuse, everything else, all the pride and arrogance and hatred that is poured out on the internet. And then I think of God coming to fix this broken world through giving his son to die for us on the cross. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Jesus is not a memorial. He's for real. And from him goes the tree of life. And from him comes the water of life. And all because of his blood. All right, I will leave you there, and I don't know where we'll be tomorrow. I'm heading away somewhere, so we'll stop somewhere and continue our coffee and Colossians. And actually, now that I'm finished here, I think I'll go for another cup. God bless you and see you then. Bye.